Saludos mi gente, bienvenidos de nuevo a Auténtico Boxing y me encuentro aquí con el recién coronado campeón del mundo, Keyshawn Davis, directamente desde Arena Medalla. Obviamente la entrevista va a ser en inglés, pero van a tener sus subtítulos, así que sigan viendo. Champ, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're here in Puerto Rico for the first time. We know that you got your belt, and you talk a little bit about how you dream of this as a kid. When did you start to feel that you can actually achieve this? When it started to become a reality for you?
To become champion.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was great at what I did since a kid, so I never doubted myself that I could never become champion. So in the moment when I did become champion, it was almost like, okay, I accomplished it. Now what's next?
Of course, and we know that you've worked very, very hard to get to this point, and right now the Terence Crawford of the worlds and all these people that know boxing see you as you know, as one of the, or maybe the main star of boxing for the years to come. Do you think that gives you some pressure, or do you like to have that kind of mentality?
No, again, I always felt like I was great at what I did. So I knew like being great comes with like a lot of responsibility. So I always see myself in this position right here, honestly. I never doubted myself at all, from me winning, being champion, or just being a superstar that people, making me out to be. Since a kid, I always been preparing myself for these moments, I just try to enjoy the moment, and not get too big headed, always stay level headed, and keep God first, of course, just enjoy the moment for real.
Yeah, I like too the mentality that you bring to the sport because I've seen some interviews of you with Ariel Helwani and other people, and you always talk about that you're not waiting for anybody. You want
Right.
to face the best names and do the biggest fights possible, but you're not waiting for, let's say, a GERVONTA Davis or a Teofimo Lopez for them to come to you. But do you see any of those names as a potential rival? Not just another opponent, but one of them that you can give a classic fight with, because they have talent too.
Great question. In terms of like a rival, right now I can say for what the people is making it out to be, only have like one rival, and he's from Cuba. Right now, I can't really tell you like, yo, I think when I fight this guy, it's gonna be like a real fight. It's gonna be a 50-50 fight. Like I would never tell you that,
Yeah, of course.
because I would never feel that way. That's why I'll never tell you that. So it would just have to play out to be that, if it was to be that.
And right now, you talk a little bit about your rival from Cuba. We all know that he's Andy Cruz, and we know that right now you're in the A side, so to speak, because you're a champion. He's a contender, but it is a priority for you to get that fight at any moment, just to shut up the critics and everything.
Honestly, no. I'm looking for something. No, I'm not really looking for it. I feel like this is when I'm thinking, for the future, for the future, this fighter right here that I'm thinking about, I feel like it can happen. I feel like, honestly, actually, now that going back to your last question, rival, I can say this person right here is my rival. I feel like me and this person right here, we got, we built up this animosity that the fans love, and I think, me and this fighter could be a pay-per-view fight. And I feel like that's Teofimo Lopez. I feel like me and Teofimo Lopez will be a pay-per-view fight, potentially. Of course, I would be able to and willing to move up to 140 to fight him. He talking as if that he would be willing to fight me now because I'm a champion, which is respected. So I feel like me and Tio, for both of our careers right now, I feel like us fighting each other, it can help out. It can help each other out a lot.
Yeah, I agree, and I also think that your styles make up for a great fight because you both like to fight and
And
to
box.
be a counter punchers, but
Right.
you like to fight.
Right, and I'm also gonna say, when if I do fight To, I also think that would actually be a real good fight.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that
of
would be a
course.
real good fight. Like I feel like, of course, I go in there and stop him, but it's like, okay, but still, like he's still good at what he does. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going there really with the really expectations of stopping him. If it happens, it happens. I'm gonna just beat you up. You know what I'm saying? But I really feel like me and Tia will be actually a real good fight, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if that fight came about, in the near future, we know that you just have this belt now. You just won it in February, so it's recent, but it will be an option for you to go up to fight him and then come back to defend your belt, or do you think that, I know it's business in the way, but do you think it will be better for you just to stay at 140 once you do that fight?
It's all just depending on like in the moment, you know how I feel, what makes the most sense, you know, like, no telling if I fight, Tiafimo, who else would want to fight me at 140? That's probably a bigger fight, or maybe I could go back down to 35 and get a bigger fight there. So it's always about the bigger fights. So whatever that lands at 30, 35, or 40, that's where I'm gonna be at.
I didn't see any of your opinions of the fight before. I don't know if you ever spoke about it, but was you surprised by the Lamont Roach performance against Gervonta Davis?
Yes,
Yes, you was
yes,
surprised.
yes.
Yeah. I think, and it's not a knock on Roach from my point of view, but to me, I saw a better Roach that I've ever seen before. That was his best version. I feel like, and I also
I
saw,
agree.
saw him winning that fight. Once that fight happened, do the Yerbonta fight lost a little bit of steam maybe because of his performance from your point of view?
Honestly, I feel like just from the outside looking in, Javante lost a little steam within his health. I feel like he been on top for so long now, and I think he's losing the steam for himself. And just seeing, I'm a fighter, so seeing him fight, and I'm seeing that I'm a hungry fighter. I'm real hungry, so I know when somebody out there is not hungry. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, that killer instinct that you guys have.
I just feel like right. I just feel like at this point right now with Javante, man, he gotta make a decision whether he wanna keep fighting, and this is a newer generation coming in now, like we talking about me, the Abdullah Masons of the world and all that,
Yes.
Are you gonna keep fighting, or you gonna get this rematch and just retire, because this sport not nothing to play with. If your heart not all the way into it, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Like it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? He got a draw on his record now, so it's definitely like time to make a decision. Like, how much do you love this sport, and how much do you really want to keep going with it?
Of course, I agree with you 100%. And you spoke a little bit with El Caballero del Boxeo, who just interviewed you about that negotiation thing with De Los Santos and everything. I don't know that fight may not happen now because of the circumstances, but he fought one of your friends, Shakur Stevenson, and that fight to many people was not the best performance from Shakur
For
Stevenson.
both of them,
Of course, yeah, I agree with you in that, but we know that the pressure was on Shakur from the public at least. Do you feel like you have to make a statement if you fight De Los Santos? Do you feel like you have to I don't know, to get your name to the number one position in your division to make a statement against him?
no, I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. Honestly, people love watching me fight because I'm just an entertainer, and I just people know that I know how to fight. I go in there and be myself when I fight, and people love me for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have to do, just keep being myself with any opponent, with anybody that I fight. You know what I'm saying? And the people gonna love me.
I agree with you, champ. Yeah. Last question. I'm a Christian, and I saw that after your fight with Berinchik, you talk about God and the impact that He's had on your life. And I know that you're a great role model for the youth. So I would like you to speak to them a little bit about your, I don't know, your relationship with God, or any message that you have to them for them to come to God, specifically to Jesus, who is our Lord and Savior.
Right, for sure. I always say after I fight or anything that something that really touched me, I always say God is real. Um, whether he put you in position for things, or just anything he do, like he wake you up in the morning, man. You know what I'm saying? But God is definitely real, man. And if you really believe, when you really believe and you really genuinely talking to him and just try to get to understand him, he's gonna put you in positions that you never thought that he could put you in, and he's definitely gonna take you to the next level. Like, and the level that you thinking about is not gonna be that; it's gonna be something better all the time. So God is definitely real. I believe in God, man, and I know He got me in this position. He had me in this position for a real reason. And for the all my believers, the Christians or the ones that don't even believe, God, Jesus Christ is definitely the right way, the only way. And man, shoot, God is real.
Keyshawn, thanks for your time, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.